Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This has been a very closely fought series between India and Australia, and it has all boiled down to the final game of this series here in Brisbane, Gabba, which is also known as the Fortress of Australian cricket. Will the fortress be breached? What do the current records say as compared to the old records of Gabba? Well, keep watching this video. You will soon find out some very interesting facts. Please subscribe to my channel and please visit my website mervincrickwiz.com. The link is below in the description box. The Australians have had an absolutely dominating record here at Gabba, and that's the reason it's called a fortress. Over 62 games played overall over so many years, and they've won 42 out of them. The most stark figure here is in the last decade, they have played 9 games and they have not lost a single game. 8 games won and 1 draw. Which is why it is going to be a daunting task for this Indian team to face up to this Australian team at this venue. And that is why it is called the Fortress of Australian Cricket. Now, if you dissect the batting performances at Gabba, overall the blue graphs tell you that they have been averaging 41 runs per wicket for Australia at an overall level. But have a look at the orange bar, the 51 run per wicket bar in the last decade shows you that over the last 10 years their dominance has completely strengthened here with the performances by Warner, Smith, Labuschagne. However, the grey bar, which is the current series, gives a totally different picture. It tells you that they have been averaging only 29 runs per wicket in the current series so far. So will really, from a batting perspective, Gabba be a fortress for them? Well, as the test unfolds at the moment live, we will soon find out. And if you look at the Indian performance at Gabba, traditionally they've not really done well with an average of 24 runs per wicket. In the last decade, they have played only one test match and still averaging roughly around 31 runs per wicket. But have a look at this series, which is again showing that both the grey bars of Australian batting and Indian batting are neck and neck this series. So it's a closely fought series from a batting perspective, and Gabba being a fortress may not really play a very big role if Australia continue to bat the way they have batted so far, which is a heavy reliance on Smith and Labuschagne. Looking at the Indian batting, and with the daunting Gabba record of 51 runs per wicket, it's only been Cheteshwar Pujara and Rishabh Pant who have been averaging around that mark on Australian soil for the Indian batsmen. The remaining batsmen are very close to it, especially someone like Shubham Gill, who has just started his career, is getting to that mark. But a lot of other batsmen have a good amount of catch up to be done because they have an inexperienced bowling lineup due to the injuries in this series or in this test match. So their batting needs to have an extra buffer, an extra insurance of scoring big runs. So they would need a support from all of the batsmen to try and get closer to that 51 runs per wicket mark so that they have enough runs on the board which can cover maybe a slightly weakened bowling attack. Now, looking at the Aussie bowling lineup, a lot of people have debated on social media that this is one of Australia's best bowling attacks. Shane Warne has a totally different opinion on that. However, leaving that aside, this is really a quality bowling attack for sure, and their performances at Gabba over the last decade and overall have been absolutely devastating for opposition batsmen. However, this series, if you have a look at this graphic, it tells you Pat Cummins and Hazelwood have really outperformed that Gabba bowling par which they have kept for themselves. the Gabba performances which they have done, they have outperformed that in this series and they have really been the go-to men for Tim Paine. However, the concern lies with Nathan Lyon and Mitchell Stark, who have not really got the number of wickets or the rate at which the wickets should be coming to them in this series as expected. If you see the orange bars here tells you that they have been expensive in getting wickets while they have performed historically well at Gabba. So in a bowling attack, you need all of them to fire. Well, at the moment, looking at the current record in the current series, doesn't seem to be that picture. So will this be corrected by the Aussie bowling lineup? Well, we have another 4 days to find out. One of the key parameters for Australia to be dominant here at Gabba and to score those huge, tall mountain runs is the partnerships, the 50 plus partnerships in an innings. Now, this graphic tells you on the left that historically Australia have been scoring 2.3 50 plus partnerships in an innings. What this means is in a test match, they will score total 5 50 plus big partnerships in both innings put together. And the opposition, which is the blue chart, are only allowed 350 plus partnerships throughout the test match in both innings put together. Now this is a huge stat because this shows you that they are piling on the runs with building partnerships together while they don't allow the opposition to really get on top of you by stitching together big partnerships. This is historical trend at Gabba. Now have a look at the chart on the right side. This tells you a totally different picture, which is the current series. Current series, the opposition, which in this case is India, is scoring minimum of 250 plus partnerships per inning. Meaning in a test match, they are able to stitch together 450 plus partnerships while Australia has been only scoring 1.3 per inning, which is roughly, let's say, 3 partnerships in a test match. So the tables seem to have turned in terms of stitching partnerships together. Can the Australian batting lineup turn this around in the current Gabba test match? This is one of the pillars on which they relied on each and every time they have played in Gabba. Let's see whether they fall back to this strategy this time around, or will the opposition continue to overpower them and the fortress can finally be breached. Let's wait, let's find out. Keep watching the space on Mervin's Crickquiz on YouTube. Please visit my website mervincrickquiz.com. The link is below on the description of the video. Stay safe, stay healthy. A lot of cricket action to follow. Take care.